We're underway. Robinson clears on by for the lead. And now Cranborg tries to attack. So far, single file racing as Bentley Thompson tries to sort things out. Gunter also in the choo-choo train. Couple laps to go. Final time around now triggered. White flag is out. Robinson looking to close out a heat race victory. Cranborg sees a bump and run in his mirror. Thompson pushed up. Checker flag waves. It is Robinson who takes heat number 2. Cranborg in second. Gunter, Nichols, Thompson, Larson, the top 6 that get in the transfer positions. Outside of those spots, Carson Sherman recovers to 7th, Chase Hart to 8th. Weaver, Hayes, and Cam Mellett are the drivers that recovered to their spots. So it's time to move things over to our B main here. For those tuning in, we're happy with us here on Ballin TV for tonight's coverage of Race for a Ride presented by SpeedU FR8 Racing. So far, your heat race winners going the way of Chase Pierce and Connor Robinson. But we're just about set for the 24th lap B main. It looks like all drivers will make it as Hilkowitz will move on to the pole. Carson Sherman will start on the outside in this Conti. Gallman and Hart start row number 2. Chandler Gallman had spin on the last lap in the first heat of the day today. Evan Johnson will start row 3. Aiden Weaver to the outside in the 101 car. Ethan Hicken will start in 7th today. Lucas Hayes begins in 8th. Rounding out the top 10, Jackson Burnett missing the start. Cam Mellett set for 10th. And that leaves one hour driver. That will be Brian Glover in this field. It gets sorted out. So 24 drivers are the normal scheduled field runners for the main. These drivers here today have 11 in the Conti, so you do the math. Those who advance for the heats should see all things out. Once again, a reminder today brought to you by SpeedU FR8 Racing for today here at iRacing's virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway, as we are just in the midst of preparing for today's action. It is currently, for these drivers, the 4th round of the season here on Ballin TV, as we are set to go soon. Chase Pierce, so far the points leader coming into tonight. Travis Cranborg in 2nd spot in points. Snodgrass, Gunter, and Thompson amongst the top 5 coming in. Axel Smith, and then of note, Shane Hilkowitz, who's in this B main, 7th in points. A reminder once again, amongst the race analysis that we talked about earlier, that these drivers are racing to be able to make the 40-lap main. Remember, starting 24, usually in this series, in the feature, all will make it tonight at least. 3 green-white checkers if necessary for the field. Drivers ready to battle on their fixed setups for a chance to race at Atlanta in this championship series. So just about done the extra pace laps here. It's allowed these drivers to do one thing: heat up their tires. Cool tires and cold tires in general are a treacherous thing. It provides a lot of issues in terms of grip levels. It is a hot racetrack today. It's 107 in session on iRacing Day, May 15, 2025. So these drivers making sure their tires are ready to go as the iRacing pace car drives away. All set to go for the B main. Hilkowitz in control, did not get going. Issues on the gear shifts, and we're underway. It's Carson Sherman who takes away the spot. Some bumping and banging off the grass. Hicken and Lucas Hayes pushed off the track as everyone else up front battles for the lead. Hilkowitz still takes the race lead away as issues for the 9 to grip up. Now it's Gallman looking for a way to take the lead, cuts to the inside, makes the run. The red and white entry, the Cook Farms car, the 2024 Sealam Rookie of the Year, able to seal the deal for the race lead. Sealam Rookie of the Year machine to the point, but it's under caution. It's been a rough day for Ethan Hickens so far. He loops it around, running at the back of the main pack. It had that contact as mentioned on the opening lap, and then in 3 and 4, just had issues being able to keep the car gripped up. Carried a lot of speed on corner entry, cut through part of the grass, in fact, then got early on the throttle and looped it around in the 51 in a full circle. Caution is on the 51, obviously, as a result here of the yellow flag. And now they look to warm up the tires here and get them all sorted yet again. We already are seeing some of the treacherousness already for these drivers. It's been a tricky one so far. Oh, we have a spin under caution. Cam Mallet just spun around under caution, trying to heat up the tires. Means 7's going to have to get back in space real quickly. Take a quick break for station identification. You're watching today's action for Race for a Ride, presented by SpeedU FR8 Racing from Charlotte.
Drop it.
Green flag is out, back and away. Chandler Galvin on the gas. Sean Helkowitz getting shuffled as a huge lockup for Hart. Crossover from the 48 to the inside, down the back straightaway. Helkowitz tries to play defense back as Hart tries to rip it back. They use up a lot of that artificial turf using the left side tires on that groove. A lot of these drivers trying to short things around, but it's Carson Sherman who goes the wrong way around. No caution yet. Second driver spun around. We're back under yellow. The 9 went around, and then Lucas Hayes in the 15 was turned around. And that's what put us under yellow. So these drivers damaging the back bumpers here as the 9 trying to get sorted out in line. You see him try and block to maintain the line, but still hits the back end of the 7. That's what looped him around. But the caution was triggered off the 15 of Hayes. He's got turned around, trying to run to the outside of one of the drivers, it looked like, as then he drives it into the wall under caution. Leaves us still with 14 laps to go. So Chandler Galvin, one of the drivers that has experience over at Anderson Motor Speedway, so far controlling things up front. It's been a battle so far here today on the racetrack, but the 81 is controlling things. Someone that in recent times has picked up a lot of experience, has go-kart racing since 5 years old. There has not stopped racing, also moved to limited late model classes in real life, 2024 competition. So he'll control things up at the front of the field. Sean Helkowitz start on the outside. Almost set to go racing once again. Squeeze down as Galman hits the gas. Back underway. One driver having huge issues, causes a stack up. Aiden Weaver did not go. Slammed in too hard by a couple drivers. The rest of the leaders battle it on out. Huge bobble into 3 by Hart. Holds on to it through turn 4. Hilkowitz moves on through. Hilkowitz up to second as they try and wrap the bottom and hold on to the groove here. 10 to go. Now coming up here in this race. Coming up to 9 laps to go on the 24-lapper. Technical issue. Chase Hart still able to stay on the racetrack, though. Cam Allen's done a good job in this race, to give a shout out to him. 10-4 so far to be able to slice through all the traffic, but he's now got a caution. Caution flag is out. Hicken again. Ethan Hicken going around. He had a caution already here. And now he spins around after the 101 was very loose. 101 also went around in Aiden Weaver after the poor launch. Way too deep into the 56, spins them across the nose of the 51. They both spin. That will bring us back to the yellow flag. Here's a look from the 51's viewpoint. Try to ride their line, and chaos reigns. Puts under caution yet again. Now we get set for what will be a late race restart in this B main here today. A few more pace laps to be able to resort things out for these drivers. Hearing that Chase Hart's getting a technical warning as a result of technical issue. They are working on the connection situation for that 4 machine to make sure things stay stable. After that technical blip, we already have lost a driver, actually, and Jackson Burnett due to technical issues in this race. All set to go. On the inside, it'll be Gelman. On the outside, it's Hilkowitz. Chase Hart, Cam Mel with the top 4. Johnson and Sherman the top 6. All drivers advance. The question's going to be, where will they start for the A main? They look to battle it out. Green flag is out, back underway. Few laps to go. Gelman with a great launch. Hart with a good one as well. Now a minute left on the overall clock as well. It's going to be tight as they battle tightly in the corners. 3 laps to go. A bobble by Evan Johnson. Johnson tries to take away 3rd spot. The Johnson Motorsports machine wraps around, pokes forward ahead of the 48. Hilkowitz losing spots late. Tries to find a hole in front of Mallet. Mallet trying to move down. Mallet now goes the bumper. Cam Mallet trying to go back around, but he has the bubbles. Coming up to the white flag, this time by 1 more lap to go. Galman on the final time around. He's looked very solid all B main long. He had issues on the final lap that put him in this situation. But today, seems to be having great pace, potentially to battle for a feature. Checker flag waves. He takes the B main. Chase Hart 2nd, Evan Johnson 3rd. Hilkowitz in 4th. Cam Millett drives through for 5th. Carson Sherman 6th. Aiden Weaver, Brian Glover. Then Hicken and Hayes, the top 10. As mentioned, Jackson Burnett having technical issues in that race. So that's a look at the race results here. Again, the separation first 10th ends up being 4.8 seconds. Now let's take the opportunity to give you your driver spotlight here today, as joining us in the booth is somebody that has got experience. The 2022 Burris Blue Gray Junior 3 champion, the 2022 Burris Blue Gray Clone 325 champion, the Burris Nationals Junior 3 runner-up 2022, but also 2024 Anderson Motor Speedway Semi-Pro champion AJ Nichols. He's backed in real life by Culvers of Glovetown, Interstate Equipment Company, Attic Treasures, Send It Media, Monaco Zero Designs, and Kinetic in terms of his racing experience. AJ, thanks for taking the time to join us here today. First things first, how are you feeling about the car here in round number 4?
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
All right. I'm feeling pretty good. It's probably my best qualifying effort so far this season. I wish we could have done a little bit better in the heat race. Dropped back on the high side. There was just nothing up there. But dropped back to about 6th and made it up to 4th after the couple cars in front of me made mistakes. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good tonight.
Overall, you've got a lot of racing experience. How would you describe the experience on the battles across the tracks you have, especially with your experience at Anderson Motor Speedway?
Yeah, it's really close competition on the SpeedU. I mean, everyone's neck and neck, bumper to bumper. It's pretty close to what it would be like at Anderson. It's great competition, and I'm glad to be doing as good as I am. I kind of messed up at Atlanta last week, got a couple roughed up fenders, but we're gonna try to keep it clean this week.
How big would an opportunity like the series presents itself with would be for you to be able to race at Atlanta in this style of racing and be able to race on that Legends Oval at such a big facility?
Well, I raced there earlier this year in my personal car for T55 Motorsports, and we ran pretty good. We ran up in 4th in the semi-pro class, I think out of 8. But it'd mean a lot. Any great late model racer told me earlier this year, David Roberts told me, any ride you can get is what you want. You got to take those opportunities. So I'm really looking forward to it. It would be a really good opportunity for me, being able to run an extra race on the schedule. I'll probably be running some late models next year if I can get some funding from sponsors, but we're just looking forward to it.
Overall, how are you approaching things with the Rear White 2025 season as well? How are things looking in terms of that schedule then?
Yeah, we're looking to finish off the Anderson. We're going to run every race we can at Anderson, try to get the championship there, track championship. And then we're wanting to go to Las Vegas for nationals, asphalt nationals, but we got to find some money for that. We're a small racing team. We're just doing everything we can to hold on. Right now in the NX point series, I'm running number 1 out of Georgia right now and top 20 in the nation. So it's looking pretty good this year. We're going to try to run some races up at Florence and Dillon and see if there's any other racetracks around here that are running when we're not running.
Well, AJ, we're about a minute or so from the grid. We'll let you get sorted out and prepared to go here. Good luck here tonight.
Thank you.
AJ Nichols taking the time to speak with us here in this one as we get set to go racing in about a minute's time. He'll be starting inside the top 10 in 8th position in this one. So again, 24 drivers are the usual starting grid sizes. 23 are here tonight. 40 laps are on the docket for these competitors for tonight's feature distance. Now the question is going to be, who will be the one who takes the checker flag? Chase Pierce has been a very good pick, to say the very least, but Connor Robinson seems to be having his number here with the speed tonight. Keep in mind, in qualifying, they tied on speed, exactly at the same speed between them, with 16.765s. Now it's the question, how will things carry over here? So, all set just about here to move on to the race portion of the session that will look at your starting grid here tonight. Hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage here on Ballin TV. If you're enjoying the coverage, be sure to join with the interaction. Say hello, give some feedback, be able to cheer for your favorite driver, and more. Give a like and subscribe if you want to as well. But today, it's time to battle things out. Let's take a look at that grid. Pierce won his heat race. Robinson won his. That'll set up row number 1. Row 2, Billy Snodgrass, Travis Cramborg in 4th position. Cameron Ledoux will start in 5th. It's Brody Gunter in the 6th position. Then it'll be Axel Smith and AJ Nichols. We talked about Nichols during the interview session. He'll start 8th. Rounding at the top 10, Aiden Slydon and Bentley Thompson. Slydon starting on the inside in the 42. Jackson Clayton will start 11th, and then it's the 07 Everett Larson. Begin that spot. His car says, please don't hurt the car. It's Chandler Galvin coming over from the B main with Chase Hart next. The rest of this field is from the B main. Evan Johnson, Sean Hewitt will start in 16th. Cam Millett will start in 17th. Carson Sherman in 18th. Carson Sherman. Then 19th goes to Aiden Weaver with Brian Glover, I should say, in 20th. Ethan Hicken will start 21st. Lucas Hayes in 22nd. And Jackson Burnett will start in 23rd. Look top to bottom at the running order. Keys to victory, quite simple. Keep it clean, keep it at the bottom, be able to battle forward. Track temperature has got it even higher with the instant time moving to 2 o'clock. 113 degrees for these drivers. Good lucks all around from the field. It's time to go racing. It's time to battle here at Charlotte. Race for a Ride is underway for America's home for racing. Good start up front for Pierce, but he's already feeling the pressure. Billy Snodgrass poking to the inside. The BSR car runs to the inside and takes the lead, all while it's 3 wide of the back. Caution flag is out as several spin around under the yellow flag. Weaver, Millett amongst those going around. Weaver's the one who brings the caution out, though. Now let's take a look. This is not the caution. This is after the yellow flag just triggered, so we're going to get it regardless here. But it ended up being the 101 off the nose of the 56, it looks like. They kicked him off the racetrack. Weaver and Glover, EOL penalties as a result here. Let's see what happened. Driving, bit of a drift up, one drifts down, a little bit of both maybe, and that might be why they gave both responsibility for the incident. Let's take an opportunity to speak with one of the drivers as there's bumper cars in the back. One of the drivers that is in the mix for the championship is Travis Cramborg. We're joining him right here in the 5 car. Travis, as things get sorted out here, how are you feeling about the race car tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good so far. I feel like it's going to be very tough to battle with Billy and Chase, but I feel like we have a shot as long as I keep the car clean and keep the tires under it.
Of course, lots of experience here on the sim. You're known for being good on the short tracks here. How have things been in terms of being able to compete with the championship, knowing some of the experience you have from the sim, but also how things have looked in the car in general?
Yeah, it definitely helps having the experience I have and growing up doing a lot of short track racing. So I know how to get my way around and race people clean, but also hard.
Let you get to the restart here. Good luck.
Thank you.
Travis Cramborg starting 3rd as we're already coming up to the green flag here. Lap 7 coming up. Back underway. As Snodgrass clears for the race lead. Cramborg goes in. Pierce gets loose. A slide up for 2nd. Pierce gets hit off the Nerf bar. That moves Robinson up to 3rd on the round of the bottom. Now it's Brody Gunter trying to take a spot. Pierce goes down, tries to stop the bleeding, bumps himself into a spin. A save by the 17. Adler's not so lucky. Bentley Thompson going around. Several more slipping, sliding through the grass. And it puts us under caution. Evan Johnson just broke the suspension. So it looks like at least one driver will have to come to pit road here. There are no fast repairs in this series. So some drivers taking some rough moments here. Let's take a look. Here in the 66 was upside down in this incident. Bumper cars as 4 cars stopped to the outside groove. All cars in the series sent to the rear. It's pretty clear. One driver will not likely be able to continue here, as this flip is what breaks the suspension on Evan Johnson's car. That car is totaled. Let's take a look at something on board. This is from Johnson. At least it goes back on its lid, but as you see, steering already turned all the way to the right. Absolutely demolishes that race car. Puts under yellow as Snodgrass controls things, but Chase Pierce looking vulnerable in this race. Did not get to the inside until all the way to 5th. This is going to make things even more difficult for him, as the points leader opens up the door for that 5 to gain a lot of valuable points here. About ready to go back underway. Billy Snodgrass controls things. Snodgrass, driver currently competing in limited late models in real life in the 99 camp. Made some starts recently at Hickory, part of the Big Ten Challenge there. He's underway, having a lot of challengers all around him for this restart. The inside groove already sees the caution flag. It's at the back, and it's the 7. Millette again having issues. It's not been his day. He got some help from Ethan Hicken, who got some help from a couple others on the inside line. Let's take a look one more time. Watch the 51. Yeah, 51 just got spooked up the track into the 7. That was the 56 Brian Glover who forced that late break into the corner. And that's why Glover's got an EO and has now parked it. Drivers have to be careful about the incident points here. There are only 13 of them in this series for the feature. Axel Smith has also just parked his car from the situation. And Mellett will have to come down pit road. He's got significant damage to that car. So some of the bumps and bangs that one has taken. Continue under caution as things get sorted out here. Here in the 56 and the 97 to confirm have indeed hit the incident limit. The 7 is now officially done, for what it sounds like, as a result of the incident limit. That leaves us with 18 still running. Of note, Lucas Hayes had a 20-second pit stop this race, but is still going with significant right front damage. Brody Gunter, we were just following along with one of the drivers from Florida that races the Dan Legend car in real life. That exact paint scheme races at tracks like Wake County. It's followed along with. But it's going to be Snodgrass that's ready to control things up at the front. .24 coming to 23 laps to go. Green flag is out, back and away. Snodgrass with a good launch. Chase Pierce now ready to battle things out though. For third, has the run, nearly spins it around. Gets it to Robinson. Trying to nudge him forward and now nearly nudges himself loose. So many times tonight, drivers have hit a driver on that bumper bar. Gotten themselves loose just with the momentum these cars can carry and how those bumps can just stop that momentum on a dime. Single file much of the way as drivers get into rhythm with the cloud cover. All while Bentley Thompson tries to recover some spots. The PTR development driver is up a spot on the pass. That's now moved him inside the top 8 or so here. Chandler Gelman missing the bottom. But 33, we talked about his showcase earlier, is up to 5th, but the caution is out again. It's Ethan Hicken for a 3rd time involved in a caution flag. This time was running on the outside of a car. Can't tell if air was involved or he just lost the grip trying to stay to the outside of the 07. Larson just confirmed that there was some contact, but it's Hicken that will have to come to pit road from that hit to the wall. Keep in mind, some of these drivers getting started on the service. When you think about the age totals on the platform officially, to join the service, you have to be 13 in the first place. And for some drivers, it's been a learning curve on the sim compared to the real life experience you can have. Of course, with the real car, you have different feelings and sensations with how you drive the track, with how the bumps fare out. But when it comes to the virtual world, it's so different in terms of those senses. You're all in the steering wheel, or if you have something like a butt kicker, like through the haptic devices you have that give you senses on what the pavement feels like. Seeing some of these drivers battling aggressively here today with all the senses. Getting ready for a restart soon. So we double up once again. Past halfway. Once we restart, it'll be 15 laps to go. Bentley Thompson trying to hold on to the 9th position after being involved in one of the spins earlier. Hicken, of note, is still running. He took 47 seconds of repairs in pit lane. So we still have 18 on track. Snodgrass starts in the middle of the corner. Green flag is out, back underway. Robinson trying to take second. Cranborn got loose. Pierce squeezes on through. Pierce retakes the 3rd position as the 5 ducks into line. Pierce moving forward. So far, Pierce 16.8 on the pace. That's been his average all throughout the night. 7s recorded by your front 2, however. Snodgrass, in fact, setting a purple lap time, last time by, but the caution flag is out. We're back under yellow. And try to sort where that caution may have came. Can confirm now that the field at the least pacing. No generic. Both cars hit the incident limit. That's why we're having an issue here. The 51 of Ethan Hicken and 15 of Lucas Hayes were the caution, and they were at the very back of the field. That is why we're under caution. So 17th and 18th crashed and put us over into the caution flag. That's the reason we're under yellow. Take a quick break. Under caution, 12 laps to go. You're watching Ballin TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everybody, for the restart. 9 laps to go. Billy Snodgrass controls things up front, but it's Robinson pushing up the track. Caution flag. That puts Pierce to second as Chase Hart and Brody Gunter go around. Gunter had been running in the 5th position at the time of the restart. 3 wide is never good at a Legends Oval. That seems to have been the case off the restart, as Sean Hilkowitz, keep an eye on the 48, had places to go. There was a lot of space, though, to the outside of the 48. That could have worked in that case. The 4 ends up getting a lot of damage there. That's a tough break when it comes to that. Already, some apologies over the radio towards direction. See right there across the 33, and the 4 loops around in the checkup effect. And then, boom, shakalaka to the door. So we're under caution once again here. So we get all sorted out here. Snodgrass, Robinson, Pierce, Kramborg, Hilkowitz, the top 5 in this one as we get ready for the restart soon. It's going to come down to less than 5 laps to decide it here. They are getting ready for lane change warnings here, because there is a rule for lane change violations that was a warning for the move to make it 3 wide, with it being the extreme low side for the 48 hearing. Try this again. 4-lap dash to the finish. Green flag waves, and we're racing once again. Robinson trying to go more aggressive, tries to use the bumper. Couldn't get to the back of Snodgrass as they go down the back straightaway. Coming to 3 to go. Pierce rides behind. Robinson trying to go deeper on the gas. Robinson sees some defending in the back mirror. The championship front runners getting a bit dicey for 3rd. Kramborg and Pierce. Pierce hits the wall. There goes the 5 up to 3rd. Contact for Pierce. Pushes him up the racetrack. Coming to 2 laps to go. 2 more times around as the battle is on for the race win. Billy Snodgrass and Connor Robinson try to settle down. Pierce found a hole. Side by side for the race lead. White flag is out, final time around. The 11 makes the dive underneath the 99. A squeeze down by Snodgrass. He gets loose, bangs the right rear tire. Snodgrass tries to go for the bump and run. Can he reach out and get there? No. Connor Robinson takes the checker flag and wins at Charlotte. Robinson first, Snodgrass second, Kramborg in 3rd spot. As the 11 was able to make the cut to the inside, coming to the white flag. So the KRM machine gets the job done here today to be able to celebrate a race victory. take a quick step aside. More coverage coming up. You're watching Ballin TV for coverage of Race for a Ride presented by SpeedU FR8 Racing.
Drop it.
Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's coverage of Race for a Ride here from Charlotte. As in the end, Connor Robinson comes away with the win. That difference, 1/10 of a second more than, in fact, over Billy Snodgrass. Travis Cranborg finished off in third with Pierce and Hilkowitz in the top 5. It was Bentley Thompson and Aiden Slidum in 7th. Gallium in the 8th position. Clayton and Larson finishing the top 10. 11th spot went the way of Cameron Ledoux, then Carson Sherman in 12th. AJ Nichols got shuffled in the end to 13th. Chase Hart and Aiden Weaver amongst the finishers with Brody Gunter in 16th. Your DNFs included Hayes, Hicken, Alette, and Glover. Also out of the race was Axel Smith, Evan Johnson, and Jackson Burnett, who ended up not running laps for the most part due to technical issues. So look top to bottom at your running order here tonight as we have our top 3 standing alongside. Connor Robinson comes away with a race win tonight. Connor, first things first, how are you feeling about the win here in this one?
I'm stoked. It was pretty nerve-wracking.
How so? How was it nerve-wracking?
Well, so I got under him coming in out of 3 and 4. I was nervous I was gonna miss the corner and mess up, but yeah.
How would you describe the racing in this series with the intensity level and knowing what's at stake for the opportunity in Atlanta?
It's been amazing. It's been super fun. It's given me something to do, and it's been good racing, clean racing, and yeah.
Well, things return back to Atlanta Motor Speedway in a couple weeks' time for the Legends Oval there. What are your thoughts on that oval, how you plan to attack the Atlanta Legends Oval for a second time this season?
Hopefully I can figure it out because last time I wasn't very quick. But hopefully it'll be like Charlotte because they're both about the same size and stuff. So hopefully I can figure it out.
Anyone want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Well, mainly just like my parents for buying me all the stuff and things like that. Because without them, I couldn't do this.
Congratulations, Connor, on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Connor Robinson coming away with the win this evening. Billy Snodgrass controlled the lead for much of the race. The 99 finishes off in second. Billy, talk to us through that battle from your perspective for the race win in the final laps.
From my perspective, this is just the 3rd race in a row that I feel like I've had the winning car and just completely missed the corner and let them pass me. So hopefully in the future I can just stop letting them outdrive me in the last few laps and actually get a win.
How tricky is it to be able to maintain the bottom, though, in this type of racing? Because it seems like everyone has to hug the bottom, but were so many drivers tonight that had the wiggles or hit the bumper bars and spun themselves out trying to maintain the bottom of some people's cars.
Yeah, the bottom's pretty hard to hold. With these cars, they're pretty free on entry if you don't have it as straight as possible, and I figured out what happens whenever you don't straighten the car up on entry.
Well, we return to Atlanta next week. What's going to be the approach be for Atlanta the next time out for the series?
Put in a little bit more practice and just try to, figure out something to stop overdriving the corners and stop losing races.
Anyone who want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Swift Springs. That's all.
Congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
Billy Snodgrass in second. We talked to Travis earlier on tonight. He returns back to the podium. Travis Granborg once again. How would you describe the battling that you had to be able to get this podium? You, Chase Pierce, you had Sean Hilkowitz also taking 3 wide a couple times there. What was the battle like to be able to try and get this podium?
Well, first off, it was very nerve-wracking. Just trying to keep the car clean and not wreck the car. But it was very fun, and it's very up and down, I guess you could say. I was up in a second, I was down in a fourth, third. I was just shuffling around the whole race. Right there at the end, I feel like if I had a couple more laps, and as long as Connor and Billy kept battling, I would have had a shot at them. But like you said previously, it is a fight for the bottom, which is very unfortunate because I got stuck on the top for many of those restarts, and I just never really had the opportunity to get to the bottom, settle in, and attack forward.
Now, it's been, from what it seems like, a tricky battle back and forth with you and Pierce so far at the top of the standings. What is it like battling someone like Pierce that's also one of the top short track names on the platform?
Oh, I mean, it's great. I love the competition, and especially I was surprised to see Connor up here. I haven't seen his name too much in these previous weeks, so to see another guy show up and show speed and be competitive, it's very exciting, and definitely makes it a lot more exciting to watch for all of you guys.
So what's your approach going to be next time out in Atlanta?
I'm just going to approach every week the same, like I've been doing. Just shoot for that top 7, stay consistent. The speed's there, that's great. I'll go for the win. If it's not, I'm perfectly fine with a podium every week. So, yeah, same attack every week, and get through these first 8 races.
Any shout-outs you'd like to give here tonight?
So, of course, I got to thank my parents, my mom and dad, for allowing me to do this. Sit on the computer all week and maybe shouldn't stay on as much as I do. But, yeah, so I got to thank them. I got to thank Freight Racing and SpeedU for putting it all together, and you guys for broadcasting it.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank you.
Travis Granborg coming away in 3rd spot. We also going to take the opportunity to speak with Race Control tonight, who also has some insights for us on the series. Alex Coffey was actually also the lead broadcaster last time out this series race. Now, Alex, first things first, how was it up from your perspective, seeing the racing action we've seen break out tonight?
It's a little challenging sometimes, keeping an eye on the whole field, and I'm usually up there by myself, so it's a lot to keep an eye on, but good thing we have a rewind button for some of them, and can go back and look at them.
Well, yes, indeed, but SpeedU, of course, a big part of this series. What is SpeedU, and how would you describe its impact for youth racers as they go up and coming to the ranks?
Yeah, so SpeedU is a homeschooled online type program where usually public schools and around the country do not excuse absences for racing, and a lot of youth racers that want to travel the country and get their name out there and chase a career in motorsports. It gives them the opportunity to do that and not have to worry about unexcused absences and get their schoolwork done while they're on the road. So it's pretty cool what they do. I wish they would have had it when I was younger. I might have looked into that because my school definitely didn't like missing school to go racing.
How would you describe as well its impact to be able to have an event like this where drivers can get that opportunity to race at Atlanta and seeing the impact on many of these racers to be able to build their careers with a chance to race at a track like Atlanta?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially with how racing is now. With it being mostly money driven, it gives the chance to show some skill and get yourself in a ride. Maybe somebody that doesn't have the pockets of somebody that can do it every week, or travel the nation doing it. So gives them opportunity to get them in a real car and give them that experience. So it's pretty cool.
On that note here, Alex, thank you very much for the time. Anything else you want to mention before we let you get to what Race Control does?
Just shout out to all the viewers and SpeedU again for putting it on, Freight Racing, and y'all for doing the broadcast every week. It seems to be a pretty good broadcast every week. So shout out to everybody that tunes in.
Thank you much once again for the time, Alex.
Yes, sir.
Alex Coffey taking the time to speak with us here today for Race for a Ride, presented by SpeedU and Freight Racing. As mentioned with the drivers, the next time out is going to be Atlanta's Legends Oval. That will be May the 18th. Start time for the broadcast approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, be sure to tune in to see how the racing fares for these drivers at Atlanta for the second time this season. On that note, it's just about time to say goodbye for everyone here today at SpeedU and Freight Racing, as well as at Ballin TV. For our producer tonight, DJ Lyon, for all the competitors who raced in this event here today, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching the 2025 Race for a Ride presented by SpeedU and Freight Racing for its fourth round from Charlotte. We'll see you next time from Atlanta.